Welcome everyone. Today I have an updated version of the Path of Exile 2 Chaos and also Trial Farming Guide. Now this has become extremely profitable since patch 0.11. Looking behind me, you can see some of the screenshots of 1,000 divines and also a mirror. So in these videos, I want to show you guys step by step of the latest method of the updated method of farming the Chaos Trial dungeons. My friend has also provided us with a tier list of what are the best recommended Chaos Trial tier list for picking different modifiers and also what are the loot sets available. And as you can see behind me, we have video replays and also testings over hundreds and also 144 trials. And I have had friends who recorded everything for us to show us each step of the way, what are item loots, what are the rewards, and how to turn those into profits. You can see everything is recorded, and we have done a lot of testings, not only just with one friend. There's a lot of my friends that's farming the Chaos Trials. You can see those soul cores are selling for a lot of exalts, and here one of my friends is showcasing that he's selling them right away, and he's instantly selling them for a lot of exalt. If you do this and also take a little time, you can make at least 10 or 15% even higher profit if you sell them slowly. So he's instantly listing them and selling them. So there's a lot of ways of farming the Chaos Trials, and this can be extremely profitable. You can see sometimes you'll be dropping 2 or 3 of the soul cores, and they was 70 or even 10 exalt each. Sometimes if you hit the jackpot, like the ads packet over here, it sells for a few divines, which can be extremely good. Now on top of that, you can see I have a few of the tabs open. You can also go further to fight the Trailmaster with the fragments you get, which can give you rewards over 10, 20 or even hundreds and also thousands of divines. If you don't believe me, we have actually heard someone who has gotten 100% Adored Diamond, which currently worth close to 2 mirrors with over 1,170 divines. That is the extremely lucky case. Now you can do something similar if you fight the other trials and also get the last flame. I have had some friends finding this item as well. So in this video, I want to go through with you step by step of some of the good method that is currently available in farming the trials. And finally, we'll go through the process of is this the right farming method for you in Path of Exile 2, because this can work in the future leagues as well. And of course, we go through the potential of how to make over 100 divines daily as you run those trials and then go for ascensions and then go for those extremely profitable items and then try to get lucky in finding one of those good rolls. So coming over to the video replay, this is what happened when my friend was starting to farm the Chaos Trials with his Spark Mage. Now this is a very standard Spark Mage build, and his budget is not gonna be the crazy build with Temporalis or anything fancy. He basically bought a stash tab of Trial 4 Chaos Dungeon keys, and this costs about 1 divine, which I go through with you guys how to buy them, and this is all the investment you ever need. You don't need to choose anything, this is all you needed. And of course, a brief summary of what happens is that you take the keys, you go to the Trial of Chaos, and then you start fighting it. And that's pretty much it. So basically, you'll be fighting the Trial of Chaos, and each of those rounds will take you around 12 to 15 minutes. So let me show you guys the timer over here, and you can see this full replay is around 12 minutes. And basically there are some good ones, there's some bad ones that takes you a while, but overall it should be around 12 to 15 minutes for you to clear the Chaos Trials. And as you clear the Chaos Trials, you'll be getting loots and then killing bosses and then picking different modifiers. There is gonna be advice and also recommendations as to which of the best modifiers you can be picking for your Chaos Trials. There's also modifiers that will increase your loot and also drop rates, and which can be amazing for more rare monsters. And once you get enough of those, some of the best ones including the lethal rare monsters, which means you actually get more modifiers for more rare monsters for even better drop rates, which we'll go through with the tier list of the modifiers. So yes, pretty much you get used to going through the trials, and the monsters should be quite straightforward. They're not going to be the strongest, and if you have any solid build or even a budget build, can clear this. Because this is designed for players to clear this one for the trial and also go for their 4th ascension, the game mode and also the content shouldn't be too hard. It is quite repetitive as you go through this, but as you get better at this, it gets much quicker and also it gets much simpler. And finally, of course, as you come to the end of the trials, you'll be killing a mini boss, and this boss will also drop additional items, including different fate fragments, which you can be selling, or you can be using this one to go for the Trialmaster, which have even better loot, which we'll talk about on the second part. This is when you start to go for the jackpot. And of course, guys, you can see after my friend who here tested 144 trials, you can see the listed of loot item that is available. He actually held himself without selling any of those items, but collected all of those items to show to us what are the drops, what are the loots, and how much he was selling for each of those. And should you guys want to have a look, I'll attach this one to the end of the video for you to have a look. But you can see he was rushed selling them. He wasn't putting the spread correctly, so he sold those items instantly. Usually you might not want to do this because you can fix the price for a little higher, maybe 5 or 10% if you match the buyer and also the seller spread. But here he was selling it for instant profits, which means that he was losing 10 to 15% profits because of the spread. So before we dive into the first part of farming the Chaos Trials, here is actually an Excel file of my friend who actually farmed this particular trial. You can see he recorded for 144 runs, and everything is worth in exalted orbs, and also some of the notable drops are highlighted over here. You can see the number of fates he has gotten, and also the time it has taken him. And also the 10% scaling is just to show you that he can sell those items for at least 10% higher if he wasn't instantly selling them. So, as a quick summary, if you're just doing the Chaos Trials, it is still quite profitable. And the first part will be going through of how to fast and also speedrun the Chaos Trials. The second part is where the big profit also comes in. So as a summary, you're looking at around 2.5 to 2.7 or even 3 divines per hour. And this is actually the minimum income, which also comes from all the items, all the soul cores, and also all the orbs. We have not considered selling unique items and also selling the unique rare items that are corrupted. Just with the basic soul cores and also the currency that are dropped, you're looking at around 2.5 to 2.7 divines per hour using this method. And here you can see my friend also recorded some of the runs for his clear time. It usually takes around 12 minutes and sometimes 13-15 minutes depending on the map. Of course, he didn't record everything because it's taking too long, so he did it around 50 runs for us as a reference for the speed clear of farming this using this method. So coming back to the first part, how does this work? Well, the method is quite simple. The only investment you want to have is to buy a massive tab of the trial 4 keys. Now, we have talked about this previously. You can be buying this one on Discord where players are selling those in bulk. Previously, the price was around, I guess, 1 exalt each. Now it's about 2 exalt each. You can see that buying 50 of those will be 100 exalt. So you can be buying those in bulk. Usually it's around 1 divine for 144. Give it or take, it can be like 1 divine plus 50 exalt or maybe 1 divine plus like 20 exalt. It really depends on the time of the day if you're bulk buying this. We have a guide on bulk buying gold, which is the same method, and I'll attach this one for you guys. Once you have invested into the trials, you got to be prepared that this will take you maybe 10, 20 or even 30 hours to clear all the keys you have purchased. We're not recommending you to do this non-stop because this will actually lead to burnout. I had a friend who played this one for over 20 days, made over 1000 divines. He also even dropped a mirror in the Chaos Trials. But very unfortunate, guys, after he played the trial so much, he farmed so much, and also got better gears, he actually quit the game because he burned himself out after 20 days. And he had over 1000 divines in the mirror on the account that is not used anymore because he burned himself out. So do be careful. Even though you're buying the keys for very cheap, you can play this for a lot. You could potentially lead to burnout if you don't play other content, which we'll talk about. So coming back to the method, basically as you run the Chaos Trials, you'll enter the Chaos Trials, pick up the recommended modifiers. So here we have a tier list of the recommended modifiers, and because most of the modifiers in the Chaos Trials are presented in icons, you can see the tier list of icons over here. So if we come over to the max row of the modifiers, and if I go over to the lethal rare, which is going to be this one. So basically one of the best modifiers you want to find if you're strong enough, which I do think you guys should be strong enough, you can be adding additional rare monsters into the fight. This means you'll be getting better loot and also better rare monsters, means, even better drops, right? So in the top of the modifiers are some of the easier and also better reward for you as you pick the modifiers. But the lower ones are the ones you want to avoid. For For example, with violated things over here, and together with impending doom, and also with stacking shades. Those are some of the modifiers you might want to modify and also avoid if you find them in the Chaos Trials. Because of this tier list, this is how my friend was able to achieve about 12 minutes per clear. You can definitely clear faster if you follow those recommended method of finding the best modifiers for your build. Some of the builds are much more mobile because you can see in the recordings, my friend over here is a simple Spark Mage. It is not a Temporalis Mage, it is a basic Spark Mage that is just running around with staff and also the focus. So this is a very basic version of the Spark Mage, and it still works perfectly because the content is designed to not be super difficult. It's actually weapon swapping between the secondary weapon for a free blink, but afterwards he will swap his weapons back. So there's nothing fancy about it, it's just a bit of mobility, just having the weapon swap for the blink, but this is not a Temporalis infinite blink build that needs to run these trials. If you had better gears or even Temporalis, you probably can run the trials in about 11 minutes or even shorter because of much better mobility, of course. And of course, during this time, I do want to give a shout out to my friend who is actually NVInfamous, and here he is the person that shared us with all the replays, all the testings, and also all the data for the latest Chaos Trials. So unfortunately guys, I was waiting for my other friend who was farming for over 20 days with tons of divines to share me a lot of footages and also share me his divines and also mirrors. But because he actually quit the game, I had to ask a favor from another friend who's also farming the Chaos Trials. So again, a big thank you and also shout out to NVInfamous, and he has posted some of the previous videos related to the games he plays. If you want to follow him on YouTube, make sure you use the links below to check him out. Now, in order to help you guys with different modifiers of the Chaos Trials, I have also come across this particular Reddit post. It is very similar to the tier list my friend was sharing with us over here, but what we compared is this tier list is more designed to players who are new and also not familiar with the Chaos Trials. So definitely use this as a comparison, but if your build is strong enough, you can then come over to use this tier list, which is more targeted towards more experienced and also more veteran players who want to go even faster with better loots in the Chaos Traps. So all the links and also all the resources will be available for you guys to find the best modifiers to have better experience in farming the Chaos Traps. So once you play the trial a little bit and also you understand the modifiers and also have the links of the maximal modifiers so you can see all the modifiers. So basically you want to avoid those 3 worst ones. And then you want to go for the best ones that provide you with more rare monsters at the top over here. The rest of those is really depending on your build and also how risky and also how fast you want to play. So after that, well, it's pretty simple. You fight the boss, you loot the items, you fight to the treasure, you loot the treasure, you find the soul cores, and then you profit. So basically you're collecting all the valuable loots and then you repeat the trials with min and max your speed while reducing the chance of dying. Having better magic fund will actually really help here. The friend who actually found a mirror in the Chaos Trials, yes, we do have screenshots, but because he stopped playing the game, I don't feel right to just using the screenshots he shared with me. So basically, the friend who found the mirror had over 400% magic find, and he was notably getting more exalted orbs, chaos, and also divine orbs compared to what we can see over here. So here, my friend Infinite doesn't have all the strongest gears or also magic find. The other friend had a lot of good items. He even had this shield with increasing magic find with 3 different sockets, which is actually selling for over 15 or even 16 divine. The question actually comes into the second part of the guide. How was he able to get so much magic find and how was he able to get those better gears? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward. As you kill the bosses, you will drop fates, right? Collecting those fates will allow you to go and fight the Trialmaster. And fighting the Trialmaster is actually what drops the most profitable items that gives the biggest jackpot. So coming over here, if you guys are not aware, the Adored Jewel is some of the best jewels in the game, which can roll between 0 to 100%. And this is one of the items that is droppable from the Trailmaster. To fight the Trialmasters, you need all the fate that is dropped from the Chaos Trials, and the Trailmaster have potential of dropping those jewels, which is around 2% according to the wiki, and also dropping those shield, which is much more common, and it can come in a corrupted version as well, or you can be corrupting this yourself. So in that sense, if you want to take the method one step further, so instead of getting the guaranteed profits and also rewards over here, as you can see, you can keep all the fates instead of selling them, actually use those fates to run for the Trailmaster. This is how my other friend was able to get tons of better items, simply because as he fight those bosses and those monsters, he had chances of getting those shield. Then he corrupted those shield and also inserted the magic find socketing of the juice or the gems he got it. So this is how he got over 400 magic find. He didn't buy those items, he literally farmed the trials to get those items, and then using those items he had over 400% magic find. And with 400% magic find, he was able to farm over 1000 divine and also a mirror over 20 plus days. But he played a lot. He played over 10 hours a day, which led to extremely burnout after playing so much of the same content. So do be aware of this. So yes, to summarize the second part of the method, basically you farm the chaos trials, you get the fragments, and then previously people were selling for the Ascension 4 runs, but it's less profitable now, so you probably don't have to waste your time. Basically, farming the Trialmaster with those fragments can be extremely profitable, and also it is randomized profit and also items. What I mean by that is you can be getting those shields that rolls over 600% and all of a sudden it can sell for a lot. You can be corrupting those shields for 3 sockets or corrupting those for over 700% or 666% actually. You can see this one with 3 sockets is selling for 75 divine. And of course there's a 2% chance of you dropping the door Jew. If you get those Jews with 80% rolls, it is around 120 divine. If you get those Jews over 95, it is around 400 or 200 divine. And finally, if you get this one to 100%, which people do find those with 74 results, it is over close to 2 mirrors worth, 1170 divines. So there is a lot of potential profit if you follow through onto the second method. And fighting the Trial Masters shouldn't be too hard for you once you have a solid build. And during this time, the items you get from the Trailmaster can help you equip with better magic find gears, including the gems and also including the shield with even better magic find, which in return will give you better loots as you keep farming using this method. Now on the topic of magic find, in our previous build we did have a look at build with over 600% magic find. Again guys, you're not expected to have this much magic find, and it will cost more currency like ingenuity build and also even other items to have this much magic find. But looking at that build, you can kind of see how the magic find works. So definitely check out this build because this is one of the best monk build with tons of magic find and also some very strong potential of farming and also just mapping the map very quickly. And yes, even though it uses temporalis, we're looking at ways of removing temporalis and also still making the build work. So stay tuned for this update of this magic find monk build. Now finally, the question is the Chaos Trials right for you? Well, firstly, you have heard me say multiple times, I have had friends who play this too much. It is quite profitable, it is very simple and also repetitive. It doesn't require too much investment, all you needed is the Chaos keys, but it can be repetitive, so please do be aware. The repetitiveness of the game might be able to affect you, especially leading to a different burnout. The good thing about this is that this actually leads to less brain work. You don't have to plan for the juicing, you don't have to get different maps, you don't have to be mapping, you're just playing the same content with different modifiers. Well, the question is, are you having a good time? For my friends who are playing this method, they are having amazing corrupted unique items and also rare items to drop. Together with some of the dopamine hypes and also dopamine hits with some valuable soul codes, it's actually a pretty decent experience. The rounds take about 12 to 15 minutes, so this means that if you're just playing for 1 to 2 hours, this can stop at any time. Now, the potential to extend the round services of farming the fragment ourselves means that you don't have to limit yourself to only play the Chaos Trials. Once you get enough of the fragments, you can then use those fragments to go for the Trailmaster. And finally, it is a more accessible method of farming for players with a low budget build or maybe players with any of the build. Now of course guys, even though the income of farming the Trailmaster can be less consistent, you can see that just farming the Chaos Trials can provide you anywhere from 2 to 3 divine orbs, and those are the raw items you can be looting using this method. So potentially starting with about 30 divines and then to 100 divines really depends how long you farm and also how lucky you are. Now before we finish this video, we also had some questions about farming in different trials. So because this is the Chaos Trial, right? So some of my viewers has been asking me, hey Matt, what about farming in the other trials? We have had a viewer and also a member on the Discord who actually found one of those instant relics. So yes, if you're also farming the other trials, the genie trials, the coin trials, and then taking the items and then go further to the temporal masters over here from the Zakaroth. So basically it's the same method. So here we take it further to go for the Trialmaster, and those are the variable loots, right? If you take it further to go for the last flame relic, which is gonna be this item, currently it is selling for a lot of divines as well. It is selling for around 280 divine. This is the item that helps you to get temporalis, so keep that in mind. So a lot of players are also choosing similar method to be farming for the last flame relic. And once you get the relic, you don't even have to use it. You can be selling this one for about 280 divines, and the price keeps going up. So similarly, I do recommend mixing and also taking different content in the game. So you can be avoiding getting burned out, and also you can be trying out different content that is relatively easier for the players, because those content are designed for you to clear the trial 4 of Ascension to get your final Ascension. So those won't be the hardest content. Now what I do now is I'll provide you guys with a short replay recording to show you guys after fighting over 144 rounds, those are the loots, and you can see my friend actually listing and also selling those. And what I also do is I'll show you guys a demonstration of a full run in about 12-minute clip. You can see there's nothing fancy, nothing crazy about the build, and also the difficulty of the content won't be too crazy. So you can basically see how he farmed this method, and any build can work. It can be a Spark Mage build, it can be a Monk build, it can be a Summoner build. Any build can work once you get used to it. It is very simple and also very straightforward, and this can be a consistent way of getting more incomes in the game, in this league or in the future patches. Because in the future patches, you can also sell run services to other players as you fight the Trial Masters, because they will be needing the Trial of Ascension, and this means additional profit and also additional income as you sell those runs. Now hopefully you guys found today's video helpful. Again, a big thank you to everyone on YouTube, especially our supporters, and also those of you guys who's been supporting me on Patreon as well. And we do have a new feature on the Mattjestic YouTube channel. If you click onto this, you can become a member. Yes, I've added this just recently, and this will allow you to have early access to videos that is posted a few hours or even half a day earlier if you want to watch those videos a little early. But yes, this will cost money. So please be aware the membership will cost money. And if you do want to watch videos normally, those videos will still be available after 6 to 12 hours, normally on the time we post those videos. And I'll be aiming to post at least one Path of Exile video a day, and this will be including guides, tips, news update, and also the latest tricks that is discovered on both the English and also Chinese community to keep you guys updated. And if you like those videos, make sure you leave a nice comment and also leave a like for those videos.
How can I help?
Where will your choices bring you this time? This is not. Their indomitable spirit protects them. Your challenge awaits. Prove yourself. Don't get overcome. Feel their infected caress. Stem the tide.
Take you! A rare treasure.
We are only getting they strike with dark intent. Pillage and retrieve.
Die forgotten!
We are only getting there will be naught but pain. Will you prove to be food? You may possess the exception, are more common than you think. Bring death. Could hardly call the unrelenting and unyielding determination. Seek out the cores.
Not yet.
Halfway, lightning descends. I suggest you aim for the head. A true display lightning always strikes twice. Outlive my expectations. can practically hide as your enemy. Stay close, or perish. Not many weather the elements at your own risk. Take your prize and go.
Now before we finish, if you guys haven't subscribed, this is a really good time to do so because I'll be looking into the latest Path of Exile 2 news on different communities and also on our official forum, official webpage. I'll also be looking into the best build for each of the class as the meta develops with the Chinese and also the English community. So stay tuned for the latest update and also guides for Path of Exile 2. And of course, this is gonna be a big month for us. And I'll try to bring you guys all of the latest content and also guides for Path of Exile 2 to come.